No, but think about it though. Okay.
No, I'm going to answer it. I guess you consider it a midlife crisis, but I had a moment in life where I felt like I messed up. I was like, what the F am I doing?
You almost left.
Yeah, what the heck am I doing? How's life with you now?
Thank you and welcome. Welcome and thank you for listening to your favorite podcast. This is the Maximum Filipino Show.
Yes, it is.
The Maximum Filipino Show.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing tonight? I don't know what we're doing tonight. We're just gonna hang out, talk about some random stuff.
Right.
Things that happened in our life and this past few months, I think. So you've been living in my house, in our house, since what, November?
Yes, November.
What's that? December, January, February. I have nail polish, by the way. December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July.
It's almost a year.
So 9 months. Not almost. 9 months.
Giving birth.
You know what's almost? Almost is when you hit the last quarter. That's almost.
I'm at the last quarter.
No, you're not. 9, 10, 11,
next
12.
month is the last quarter.
10, 11, 12. 10, 11, 12.
All right.
You not know your math. So, how's be real with me. How's living here?
Different. Very different. If you're talking about Michigan wise, it's cold and hot. It's, snow was a great experience.
Dang it, I forgot my water. Sorry.
You want to get it?
No, it's okay. You don't have any pathway. So what else? So Michigan is cold compared to California.
Yeah, very, very, very two different spectrums.
Do you miss Cali?
I miss my family in Cali, but
do you sometimes like feel sad because you're away from them? Do you still? Because I know you don't feel homesick, right? You don't get homesick. Did you ever get homesick when you were in PH?
No.
Really? Not even the first week or first
the
night?
only thing that always crosses my mind is my mom okay? That's it.
Yeah, as long as your mom okay.
As long as my mom's okay and happy, I'm fine. But I just know that there's more that she can do right now, and I wish I could meet them. But I know I will make it somehow. I believe it. I'm still young. I'm only 42.
42. Oh my gosh. So what else? So far, you like living with us?
I love you guys. You guys just family to me. So I enjoy my stay here. It's just a lot of new things, a lot of adjustments, a lot of realizations that families are different, lifestyles are different. Mm-hmm. But they're a blessing overall. It helps me see what a family could do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have the picture the movie type of family, the good Hollywood movie or the bad Hollywood movie. I'm living a family that's going through ups and downs, and that's a different perspective that helps me understand there's more to a family. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah, let me ask this question. So you saw how the dynamic between me and Courtney when it comes to relationship, and you notice that we do not pretend in front of people, and I think that's a good thing and a bad thing too. But I want to know your thoughts about this. So when I say we don't pretend with in front of people, when we're like having an argument, we will have an argument there. Like, you know what I mean? Like when we're upset, we're upset.
Whatever they feel at the moment, they will be real with it. There's no blanket covering it. They'll be out with it. So
I know, because a lot of people will be like, well, you got to be respectful, in front of people. So before I put my 2 cents about it, what are your thoughts about that?
At first, I used to think that way, that you're, in a way, morally disrespecting. But then it made me think. Sorry, I realized I'm not talking on the mic. Yeah. That what you guys do. I mean, again, this is just my opinion. I really don't know what's right and wrong. There is no book, textbook, or anything how to be a good parent or a good
No,
husband or spouse.
there are a lot of textbooks.
There is, but there's no right or wrong. That's what that's what I said. There is no right or wrong.
Well, there's wrong. There's like you don't kill each other.
I really
that's
think
a wrong way.
a relationship is relative. But
like I said, if it's killing each other and hurting each other, and that's a different story.
There's some people that find a kick out of that. I don't know. There's masochists that say this out there.
I know, but is that proper? That's what I'm saying, though. I mean, that's got to be the wrong way. Like you can't just hurt each other.
Let's just put it that way. They don't know.
That's
They
like
just
abuse.
they don't know Jesus. They just don't know Jesus.
Like
they don't know
it's
Jesus.
like no matter what, if it's your fetish or not, it's still an abuse. Abuse still an abuse. I mean, okay, people on the internet will be like, well, that's my fetish. You can't judge me by my fetish. Fine, you know. But it's like, at the end of the day, you're still getting physically hurt. But anyway, go ahead.
No, it took me a while to adjust. I'll be real with that. Most of the time, I think it's the one-sided thing. But
what do you mean one-sided thing?
I don't know if I can say this on the camera.
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't work out, I can just edit it.
Okay. I just say it's one-sided. I mean, I don't want to pinpoint whose side is dominating, but sometimes I feel like it's just one-sided.
You're talking about Courtney?
I won't confirm or deny any of this.
Just say it. What is it?
So to answer the rest of the other part of the question, there are great dynamics in it, and it just tells me that.
Are you avoiding to answer the question? Just answer it. What is it? You feel like one-sided. What's one-sided?
I just feel like there's no room for you to do anything.
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, when it comes with her and us.
Just you, not family. Just as a couple.
Oh, like I don't go out and do other stuff?
In general.
Like what?
Well, when it comes to an argument, when it comes to what you want and what not want, what you wish and wish not to do. I mean, like I said, in general, between you two, I just feel like it's one-sided.
So when it comes to activities, right? When it comes to hanging out, and you know me, I'm very selective with the things that I want to do.
That's true.
Because right now in the season of what I'm doing, right? We're building up the youth ministry. We're really active in church. We're doing podcasts. I have 2 kids. You know, you're living with me.
Yes. Beautiful kids.
Yeah, and so I can't. Well, that on that first spectrum, I can't. What is that noise?
The AC.
Dang it! That is so loud. But I can't. Right. I don't really have any time to do anything else. You know what I mean? Like from Monday to Friday and then Saturday and Sunday, it's like I can't. You know, I can't really do anything. I don't have any rooms. And second, my priority, which one of those ones I want to prioritize first. And remember, Pastor Anthony mentioned that list 20 things that you want to do, and then that 20 things, list your top 5 of your priority. Now look at that priority, your top 5, and then like the rest analogy of the 20. Which one of the 20s are you doing? You know, the rest of the 15s that you're doing, but that's occupying your effort and your time, and you're not focusing in the top 5. You know what I mean? And then remove that. So I
really
think
like that.
I know I totally agree with that. But so I look at that. I don't have time, and second, I don't have priority, and third, and I think this is really important. Besides family, because family is important, and I know that's really cliche, but I think family is really important because family is the one that you will never regret, depending on how you deal with the family. You know what I mean? But the third and most importantly, the reason why I don't have any other room to do it, because I just don't want to. You know, like party to me is like, even when I was younger, partying, like going to parties, it's like never been a attraction to me. You know what I mean?
I can see all that, and I don't really see you doing that either. I guess when I meant it's like a one-sided thing, I meant more of on the authoritative side.
Like her running the whole thing?
Who's more dominant, yeah. Okay,
so she's very vocal and very emotional, and that goes with a lot of relationships.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
True.
I am more of the logical person when it comes to, and a lot of people might misunderstand this. So like you, right? You know, you mentioned this to me. You know when arguments are getting heated up and getting out of hand. So what do you normally do? when that thing happens? Like you personally. So
Me
let's say
in
we're
general, or
yeah.
when you
So
guys
let's say
in it?
we're in an argument, right? And you kind of feel like it's getting heated up. What do you typically do?
Pretend you guys ain't there.
No. I'm talking about you and me,
Oh, between you and me?
or someone else that you are having argument with. Now the argument is starting to get out of hand, and you starting to feel like it's getting out of hand. It's not productive. What do you normally do?
Normally, that
Yeah.
wouldn't happen. Too, but if it does, if I know that something was going to get heated,
Yeah, when you kind of feel like, oh, it's getting heated, what do you do?
I want to believe that I'll check myself too. I'll step back and
Right. So that's why I'm doing that. I step back and like, okay, this is gonna get out of hand, and she's not getting logical about this. So I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna step back and analyze this. And so I'm a type of person, and we're the same with this, because this is
Right.
why we're brothers. Is when we have an argument with someone, instead of making that argument personal, you think about the good things that person have done to you,
Right.
and then you put that in a facade, like in front of you, instead of getting mad at the person. Think about, like, this person was nice to you. He doesn't, whatever he's saying to you that's bad, whatever he's doing to you that seems like wrong. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. This person is nice. This person likes you. This person has done a lot of things for you. So you don't have to get mad at this person. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's how I look at Courtney. It's like, she's my wife, and I've gotten a lot better compared before, that I'm vocal. Before I'm not. Before I'm like, you know what?
No,
I
you
don't want
weren't.
any argument, so I'll just let you be mad. I'll
Yeah.
apologize. But now,
Very much.
after our counseling, I am like, no, I gotta tell you my thoughts and my feelings, and then let's have an argument. Because argument is always a, I'm sorry, not always. Argument can be a good thing.
You're talking about marital counseling. Is
Yeah,
that
marital
right?
counseling. Yeah, because so argument is can be a good thing. Counseling,
Okay.
Counseling.
Yeah, that makes
Argument
sense.
is not always a bad thing.
It isn't. I agree.
But yeah, so it seems like that, and a lot of people can look at it that way. But and this nothing against you, right? I'm talking about other people. The other people that don't see us living with us, because I can understand where you're coming from, because you're living with us. You are
Right.
with us almost 24/7. But I'm talking about other people that's outside the house that look at us and judge us or assume our life. I don't pay attention to that, because you don't know what's going on in our house. You know what I mean? You're not with us.
Right.
You're just only with us some hours, some moments of the week, and things like that. And then whatever you say, like, oh, Courtney's this with her husband, or AJ is this with Courtney. I look at it, it's like, no, at the end of the day, she's still my wife, and I'm gonna live with her for the rest of my life. You know
Yes.
what I mean? But yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, though, about the one-sided thing.
Okay. I mean, you guys, you for sure, on your point of view, you understand the dynamics between you two. So yeah, that's awesome. But going back to the root of that question, I do see, their ups and downs.
Did you shave?
I did.
Oh man, I just noticed. You're clean shaved. You look young.
Nah.
No, you're not 42. You're 32.
Officially 32 next month.
Yes.
Anyway, I do see their ups and downs, and on a clear view, or a clear-minded point of view, the relationships you see in the movies are not real.
It's true.
The Hollywood stuff, those ups and downs, nah.
Mhm.
You go interview a real relationship and you understand,
Yeah.
and live with it, see it, and view it. Now, how does it affect me, emotionally speaking? Sometimes all that negative vibe get onto me, and I'm like, I need to not get affected by this. This is
Yeah.
not.
Oh, when we're arguing in front of you and things like that.
Yeah, but not what you guys talk about. It's just the heat of the moment. It kind of rubs off on me, and I'm like, I'm not even. How do I say this?
Involved.
Yeah.
You're not even part of it.
I'm not even part of the AB
Yeah.
conversation, and I'm seeing myself in it, and I'm like, I need to get out.
You can get involved in a couple's argument. You know what I mean?
Are you saying you can or cannot?
Cannot.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
You can't. I'm talking about like if you know, not just with us, but let's say your siblings and their partner or husband
Right.
and wife, and they're having an argument, even though like you know the truth, right?
Yes.
So let's say the wife is getting mad because the husband didn't do anything at home,
Right.
and then the husband said, "No, I did this," and then you can't barge in and said, "Oh yeah, that's right, I saw him did that." No, you can't do that, like 100%. Even if they ask you, and you tell them, "No, I don't want to get involved with this," you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? Especially if you're living in that house.
Yeah.
You know, because I know you are in a tough situation, but so here's my thought about us arguing in front of people, right? So my rule of thumb in my head, this is my rule of thumb. If you invited us to hang out with you,
inviting everything of them.
yeah, then you're gonna see that.
Expect to see that.
And second, if you are in our house, you're gonna see that. Now, if we go to someone else's house, we're not gonna do that because we're respecting your own house. We are in your property. You know what I mean? And third is we're not gonna get physical at all. You know what I mean?
No, nah, they don't do that. Not that kind of physical like abuse. Nah.
Ooh, you made it weird.
Going back to the whole fetish thing from the top.
Right.
Nah.
So I think because I think it's important the way we project our relationship in front of people. Now we don't just argue all the time. Okay, we don't just argue
That's
all
not
the time.
Case. They're just very loud all
I
the
know.
time.
Well, maybe. But what I'm saying is a lot of couples. We've seen this, right? We've seen the couples who act like they don't argue in front of other people, right? And closed doors they argue. Which, I mean, if it works out in your relationship, then it works out in your relationship. But what I just don't want to see in our relationship is we project to people that we are in a good relationship, and then come to find out in the end of, you know, like after a year or two, we're going through divorce or we're having problems, and people are like, what? Well, I thought they weren't.
It just falls back to what you think, whatever facade or reality. It's really their fault for thinking that way. It's really none of their business to even think or assume what's really going on. That if their first impression was they saw you guys arguing and they started thinking, oh, they must argue a lot, they ain't gonna last. That's their fault for thinking that.
Yeah, and second is we don't really care about other people would say. You know what I mean? Like, because like I said, it's our relationship. We're the one going through it. Like, we can show to people that we're in a good relationship and we don't argue, but we don't get to spend the rest of our lives with them. We get to spend the rest of our lives with each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? Me and Courtney. And I think that to me, that is healthier and freeing than pretending to be in this good, euphoric, what is that word? The perfect world. What is that term?
Perfect, imperfect?
No. There's another like Latin word that people use. Not eureka.
Tada?
I don't know. What the heck?
Tada!
Tada! No, it's like this perfect relationship, and they're like, oh.
Persona?
No, not persona. There's another word. But yeah, so that's one thing that I don't like. So when you get to hang out with us, you're gonna see all that, and that's just the reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Again, going back to what I said earlier, and he said it, but I still believe there is no book that will tell you what is right, what is wrong, in any relationship in terms of a couple. How do I put that together? Yeah, a relationship between your partner and parents. Yeah. You can read all the book you want, but your style, your culture that you will build will be unique to you. And sometimes all the things that you read and prepared yourself will be just out the window.
The Bible talks about principles in relationships, but the practicality is a different story.
Yeah, that. The one thing that I think is a timeless principle is the Bible, of course. That said, and since we're on the topic, and not to try to phase out of the whole purpose of TMFS, right? So what's the difference between relationships in the US and PH?
relationship between Philippines and United States. You talking about marriage? Because I have no idea.
No, really, in general. I mean, like how they will treat. I mean, of course, there's one thing for sure you don't see out here. There's no serenading. There is no courting. It's
So
like,
the
I mean, like the culture, tradition. Yeah, what's
Yeah.
very different? Okay, let's pinpoint from the start. What's the difference between PH and here?
the tradition in the Philippines, we are traditional when it comes to relationship, that the father is the one making money,
Mm-hmm.
and the wife gets to stay at home, take care of the kids, cook
Right.
food, and things like that, and they're big with that. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's just the culture we grew up in, and it works out in a lot of families.
Right.
And you can say whatever you want. You can say that's patriarchal or sexist, or you can say whatever you want, but both relationships get affected in that, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're a father or a mother, whether you're a wife or husband, it still get affected both ways. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't just fall into the mom or into the dad.
Right.
It's both relationship. That's just how it works. So, and I see that they respect the fatherhood in the Philippines,
Mm-hmm.
or the husbandhood, than here in America.
Yes.
So I think it's more progressive now in here, that that the wife is like, oh, I can work too, so I don't get to give you the respect that you deserve as a father or as a husband. You know what I mean? And I'm also not saying that's a bad thing. That's just how it works here. You know what I mean? It works out. It works out. So that's one thing. Another one is I think it's the status of living. So the typical jobs in the Philippines are not as busy, or as what do you call this, as corporate,
Corporal.
yeah, like corporate kind of setting. The typically in the Philippines compared to here in America, because you see a lot of this father corporate kind of guy who works in the office or do this kind of things, who works 9 to 5 job and then gets home and get to hang out, and those dynamic of relationship, you don't see that in the Philippines. I don't know if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Like the father in the Philippines, when they get home, and I know this is with a lot of dads and husbands, after they go to work, they get home, and then they just stay home.
The PH or here?
Yeah, in the Philippines, they just stay home. They don't go or hang out or go somewhere, or or drink and things like that. But I feel like it's more. They have more free time in the Philippines than here.
Do you think it's just due to the fact of perspective, maturity, that?
I think it's just the job, the kind of job that they have. You know what I mean? Like, what's a typical job? Like, so not basing off the movies, but that you notice with our neighbors or your neighbors or church mates, what are the typical jobs here in America? Like dads, let's say Gen X, like millennials to baby boomers.
Somehow I still think so. Either when I think about workers in America, it would be construction, retail,
Yeah.
and
I'm talking about like mid class too, not higher class.
yeah,
Like mid class.
it's pretty much retail, construction. What's another common thing?
Like office.
Yeah, I was thinking about office work. But
Yeah,
I'm trying to
office
think of
work.
what in general. Well, the only office work I can think of is just calls. Be in the call center.
Yeah, but there's also like paperwork and just in general office works, And in the Philippines, it's not like that. Like if you go for mid class provinces, you have the drivers, the jeepney drivers, the bus
Right.
drivers, construction workers. You have the ones that works in the market. You know what I mean? Like stores. It's not really an office job. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like the Gen X fathers and the baby boomers. Now, if you go to millennials, then yeah, you have fathers that worked in a call center agents or different kind of jobs. So that's what I think. So when after work in the Philippines, when they do market or jeepney drivers or tricycle drivers and things like that, when they get home, they don't get to do anything else. Unlike here, there are certain different shifts. So after you work, let's say you're in an office job, when you get home, you still focus on the office job that you're about to do the following day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm a victim of that.
Right. So that's what I think. So I think the fathers or the husbands in the Philippines don't only they do not they oh man, how do I word this? They don't just there you go. They don't just have the weekends day off. They also have the end of the day or after work day off.
The afternoon.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They have time in the afternoon.
Yeah. Because here I feel like the husbands have the weekend day off. Sometimes just Saturday off. You know, a Saturday and Sunday. But the after work, it's not necessarily a day off. This is just a rest for the following day.
Oh, okay. Put it that way, then yes.
Yeah.
Like you're just done your shift and you're just now preparing yourself for the next. I mean, majority of the time that's averagely what's happening out in the U.S. I, for one hand, it's just I try not to, but it's a habit.
Yeah. So
okay.
and so we had this going back to family, and this is one thing that I feel like I'm not gonna regret. So a lot of this, it's funny because you hear this a lot from rich people that are successful, people they have a lot of money, right? One thing that you will hear them say is, I wish I spent more time with my family.
Yeah.
Like if I go back in time, I would spend more time with my family than in my business, right? But of course they'll say that because they're successful, right? Like people who are like us, you know, mid class, who sometimes we only have like paycheck to paycheck kind of lifestyle. We don't have that privilege of saying, I wish I could just spend more time with my family instead of earning more money. Because right now, because of the status of our life, we much rather work more so we can have more money, and then spending more time with our family will be like a later kind of time of our life, because we think that they will understand anyways. Like we're doing this for them, you know what I mean? So they will have a better life. So a lot of rich people will say, oh, I wish I could have spent a lot of time with my family. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is I do my best to spend a lot of time with the fam, you know, because I know that someday, I believe that someday I'm going to be successful. I believe that there's something going to happen in my life because of all the hard work that we're doing, all the works that we're doing. And I wish we could do more. All the works that we're doing will pay off. I know that as long as we're faithful and trusting God and doing all this for the right reason, you know, we're going to be successful, right? Not necessarily like $1 billion successful, but in a sense of satisfaction successful, maybe. I don't know, happiness, joy. I don't know what kind of success we're
whatever success it is
that we're looking for. Yeah. But at the same time is bring the family with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like the family will not be broken. So have that, because you can have both. I don't think it's impossible to have both. I don't think it's impossible to have success and a good family. You know what I mean? I don't think it's impossible. I think it is possible. It's a lot more work. It's very much
possible. No, it's possible.
But it's a lot more work, that's for sure. Because it's like that. This is why a lot of statistically, a lot of people that are getting richer and successful, especially in our field of social media, are single people. They don't have, not necessarily not in a relationship, but they don't have kids or married. You know what I mean?
I'm exempted, by the way. So, but no, you're right. Because they don't have as much responsibilities as a married man or a family man would be, or woman.
Sorry, because they're more focused. They can put their focus more into this whatever path they're taking, instead of just, before I do that, I gotta take care of my kids real quick. I gotta pay my mortgage real quick. I gotta do this real quick. I gotta, spend time with my wife real quick, one time the week, twice a week, or something like that, before I go back and follow this path of my passion or anything like that.
Being more of an adult comes to play when you have more responsibilities in your life.
But, and I told you this before. I feel like I keep saying but.
You do that. That's your word. But it's okay. Just It's fine. Just do your thing.
So I told you this, that I much rather say when I get older, I much rather say I wish I could have done more for TMFS than say I wish I should spend more time with my family.
Yeah, I remember that conversation.
Yeah.
Well, TMFS was an example, but basically he's saying that I'd rather say I wish I had more time doing.
He's mansplaining my words.
Yeah, mansplaining. I'm doing it because TMFS is. Anyway, you get his point. I'm not going to repeat.
I won't. I will never say.
Never.
I don't want to say someday that I wish I spent more time with my family.
Which is good.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to say that thank God I spend more time with my family. So yeah. So I think you can do both. I really think you can do both. And as long as you bring your family with you and you respectfully tell them, and that this is why I ask her now. You know what I mean? Even though I ask her now, hey, can I do a podcast tonight? Or can I shoot a podcast? Hey, can I shoot this video tonight? As long as she's on board and she's totally fine. And when you do that, you also have to spend time with her after that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't just like disappear for a whole week and then ask her, hey, can I shoot a podcast?
Yeah.
Of course, she's not going to be okay with that because you didn't. We call that in Christian world is you didn't fill the tank, the love tank. You didn't fill the love tank, not in a sexual way, but the love tank. You didn't fill the love tank. So you got to fill the love tank before you take out something out of the tank.
When you say it, no matter how you say it, it's still something.
No, I think the reason why I made it weird because I had to explain it like that.
Yes, you did.
Because I think if I didn't say anything,
I think it would have still been the same because it's you.
I don't know. I smirk and I smile a lot when I say something less like
you're just defending yourself.
Yeah. No, I'm not defending myself. Defending myself will be like, no, I didn't mean it like that. No, I'm actually telling you that I say a lot of innuendos.
That would be me if I would do that.
I wasn't defending myself. I wasn't offending myself either. I'm just saying. Okay, so let's go back to so staying here for 9 months.
Yeah.
Are there anything that you I don't wanna be more moral lesson kind of person, so I'm not gonna ask you what did you learn in your 9 months. Like what the heck? There's no I mean, you probably did. You probably adopted a bunch of things or something. I don't know. You gotta be.
There was a lot of things I had to adapt to and adjust to. My overall stays here too.
Not adapt. Adopt.
Adopt and adapt. Adopt and adapt. And both. Tomato.
Oh.
If it wasn't the fact that I love my little brother and our relationship, I may have not survived.
What do you mean may not have survived?
If it was someone else, like your past roommate, I don't know how long did he stay?
Oh shoot, maybe it's probably like a year, I would say.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Probably not. Probably like less than a year. That's a different story though, because he didn't.
I'm not. I'm just saying in general, because I'm trying to compare it with someone who knows you well versus someone who is.
No, because here's the thing though. Here's the thing. So let's say I didn't know you that much. Let's say we were just, we're just acquaintance. You were just my acquaintance, but you're a nice person. You're a nice person to be around. You know what I mean? Like you can cope up and adapt, like the words that you said, to people. So I think you wouldn't have any problems. And okay, so I'll give you an example. Like my kids, you're good with kids.
Kids in general.
You know what I mean? You're good with kids in general. And my kids are not really hard to watch. You know what I mean? They're not brats. They're not spoiled brats. You know what I mean?
Sometimes they act like their mom. Sometimes
he said it. I didn't. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have all these kids and you're like, hey, well, can you watch the kids for a week, or not a week, for for a moment, and you'd be like, yeah, that's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean,
So you're easier to live with compared to
others.
So it's like my old roommate or other people that we know. It's like they're probably like not gonna be there.
One is I love kids. I mean, I okay, let's not just get weirder than that. I just been around kids for a long time because of my sisters. I have a bunch of nephews and nieces, and I became a father very quick in the sense of father figure. So I've been around kids. I've been used to it. So being around their kids, they're a lot more easier than my kids in California.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, going back to me staying here, I enjoy. I'm really thinking what would have what could have or couldn't have been me not. I don't know what it is, to be real. I'm gonna be real with it. I don't know what it is. I just love my bro. I can adjust. I can adapt. Invite me in your house. I have to watch you and learn what I need to do. I guess I can adapt to where I'm at.
Yeah. And so for us now, on our end as a family, we had to learn that. So you have your own thing, and you shared this before about the difference between your life in Cali,
Mm-hmm.
or your family, the culture, your family culture.
Right.
I'm not talking about Samoan culture. I'm talking about
Just,
your culture in your family.
Yeah.
And our family culture, right?
Yeah. So to elaborate what he's talking about. So here, there's a lot of family together activities going on versus my family in California. Now, don't get me wrong. We love each other. We do things together when the time comes around. But most of the time, when we're home, we're just bodies amongst each other. We know that we exist, but we have this like mutual understanding of he's gonna do his thing, or he's going to the kitchen, he's in his room. No one's gonna say anything. It's like the whole saying, "You do you, but we still love you." We have nothing against that. Like, you can be in your room all day, and we just check once. Sometimes we ask, "Hey, you doing okay? You want to eat?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Yes or no. We still have family thing, but coming over here, yeah. When we do things together. There's no room to be by yourself, which is not a wrong thing. But being here has taught me that family can do things a lot together. It gave me a whole different perspective of family activities together, kids doing. It was just a very family culture here, which taught me a lot. Now there could have been so much more that I could have done with my nephews and nieces, where I could have gone. Let's see what I could have done. But
Are you about to cry right now?
no, I'm holding my breath so I don't breathe on the mic.
That's gonna be a horrible podcast.
No, but it's just that it's just very different. We may have at one point when money was good, when family was really happy at the time, but as time went on, struggles got harder, and everyone just went separate ways. And what I hated the most that separated most of my family, not to get really too deep, it's just money. Even though we need it, I kid you not, I hate it, because I hate what it does to people, to good people.
Money?
Yeah. If you get too needy or too greedy. And the reason why I say needy in there, because there's a point in life when you really need money, but you get too focused on the need for money that you mess up your relationship with everyone else. Like, you say, I thought we were family. I thought you were gonna help me out. I thought you were my sister. I thought you were my brother. Stuff like that.
We have this thing called in the Philippines. I think it's here in the U.S. too. When they say money's thicker than blood.
I thought they would say blood is thicker than water.
Yeah, but money's thicker than blood.
That's the first I've heard it.
Yeah,
I may have heard it, but
and
the first
that's why they said because of money you will lose, you will you will lose your relationship with your family because of money. Did you know that? Speaking of money, did you know that Jeffrey Bezos paid his dad, gave money to his dad, and told him, "You're not gonna be my dad." I don't know how much, like 300 grand or something like that.
He paid him out.
Yeah, he paid him out. He said, "You're not gonna be my dad." That's like a level up emancipation, not emancipation. Is
That's
that emancipation?
Like, you just circumcised right. Yourself from you. And
what is that word? Is it emancipation?
I think it's emancipation.
Is it?
I want to look it
up. I feel like emancipation is like the slaves.
Okay, whatever we're trying to say, that you really have got a big old saw or cut or chainsaw, and you really cut that deep.
Yeah, and you're like, nope, you're not gonna be my dad. So he gave him money. He might have been abused, but I have no idea. But that's what I heard.
So the fact or process of being free from legal, social, or political restrictions.
That's what it is. Emancipated. You got emancipated. That's like a level up emancipation. It's like, here.
That's crazy.
Here's your money. You're not gonna be my dad. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true. It might have been a myth, but that's what I heard or read. That's what I read.
It could be some rumor.
Yeah. So going back to that, yes, we do a lot of things as a family. So in my own family, we used to be like that. You know, we believe in family. We are family oriented, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you do your thing. Now we're gonna have an event of us, a family, doing something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But here it's like, no, we gotta do everything together, and that boils down to Courtney, because she wants to be involved in a lot of things. On her past and her childhood, that she wasn't involved. She was abandoned. So she wants to do a lot of things as a family. So this is like her idea of a perfect family, is doing things together. You know what I mean? The father, the mother, the kids, and things like that. This is why during our marital counseling we talked about that it's important. So before, it was worse. It was worse to the point of if I tell her that I want a day for myself, she will get mad. She will like say with a serious face and voice, why you don't want to spend time with me. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't get the idea that it's also good to be away from each other.
Right.
To have your own time. So during our marital counseling, the counselor explained that it's important to have your own time. So now we do our best to set up our own time, but also our we time. You know what I mean? Our date night, our family thing, and things like that. So
even Nana said that. Separation is good.
Yeah, Nana.
Yeah.
So when you got here, we had to, or at least for me, I had to understand that no, you have your own thing. You know what I mean? Like, you can do your own thing. So if you want to do this, you can do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we had to understand that.
So being here was a big adjustment, or maybe like it kind of just stretched me wider on the concept of family. Family is different in everywhere you go, and things that I picked up here, do's and don'ts, like I mentioned. I wish I had done this with my family. I wish that these were options available.
I know, I realized that because when we went to for example, when we went to the zoo, you're like, oh, I bring my nephew and nieces to the zoo, or things like that, or the vacation, the vacation that we were having. You're like, oh man, I could have done that with my mom because she loves to travel.
Part of it's me for being ignorant and not even trying to look, but it's probably because I got tired of it. Like, I'm pushing so much to do for a lot of things for everyone, but now I just narrow it down to doing things for my mom. But even my mom sometimes, or most of the time, doesn't want to do anything else other than to do it with everyone. I'm like,
Yeah.
But yeah, like, even the simplest things, even board games, card games, I learned a lot from these guys. I'm like, I really wish I knew all this before.
Yeah, right.
I would have had a good time with my nephews and nieces rather than just do the typical, what's considered today, watching iPads, TVs, games.
Courtney's really big at that, big on board games.
Board games, or not even, she's even like to go outside, even play outside and do things out.
I am. So the playing outside is way different than playing outside in the Philippines.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I was a kid, when I go outside with my friends and we walk around, we hang out, we go somewhere. And here it's like, it's kind of almost scary to go somewhere. You know what I mean? And that's just, I'm not even talking about, abduction or people killing you or shooting you. I'm not even talking about that.
Okay, maybe those negative things you may see on TV that may have been exaggerated, they are true though.
Yeah,
they are true.
Well, maybe not in our
in
area.
general in America, I mean,
but I'm talking about is so in our area there's not really any rooms for people to walk or to ride a bike. Yeah, we have bike lane, we have sidewalk.
Yeah, there's so much space out here.
There's like, it's like all the roads here are meant for cars, not for human.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Here or in PH?
Here, because in the Philippines, yes, we have a lot of cars, but the area like Quezon City or Valenzuela or Caloocan, you will see that place is flooded with people because it's meant for people.
Yeah.
People that are walking, people are hanging out and going somewhere and riding, and this is why public utility vehicles, right, like jeepneys or buses are working out because there's people there. Now, if you remove that and you tell them, we only have a scheduled buses that can go specific areas and can't go anywhere else, people will complain because you know what I mean. It's like they are making you think that for you to survive you need to have a car.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like walking is not an option kind of idea.
It's more either a luxury or a need.
Yeah. Well, it's leaning towards to you need it. You need a car to survive. You need a car to go to work. You need a car to go grocery shopping.
I'm comparing between car and walking. So what I mean, like, car is mandatory. I kid you not, car is mandatory. Mm-hmm. Or some kind of vehicle that gets you to point A to point B. But a car is, because a distance from here to point A to point B is very different from point A to point B in PH. Because point A to point B, like for example, from say Malinta to SM Valenzuela, the distance are not too far apart, but the traffic is.
Yeah.
It's just. Yeah.
I mean, you're still not gonna walk that far, but what I'm saying is, I think it's because of the availability of the public utility vehicles. We don't have jeepneys or tricycles or. You know what I mean? We have buses, it's scheduled buses.
Yeah, that's true. So
the luxury of going somewhere on your own time is not available here.
Okay, I see what you're at.
You know
he's right. Yes, there is no other transportation like it is in PH. It's just either personal car or you're carpooling with somebody.
Yeah.
Or the bus. Or whatever public transportation is available.
Or live closer to places like that.
I mean,
so you can walk or ride a bike.
You can have taxis, or
Uber.
Uber. I was gonna say, wannabe taxis, but yeah, Uber. Other places called Lyft or whatever can get you to point A to point B. The necessity is a car. Yeah. It's very different from here and there.
So yeah. So
what I mean, even distance is different. Like why I say he's saying is a car, because 15 minutes is very different here and there. 15 minutes could referring to how long it takes you in how long in the car versus 15 minutes here, how far it is. Like 15 minutes means your distance is pretty far apart.
Yeah. And the reason why I mentioned that is the hanging out, like going outside and hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
So in the Philippines, when you want to hang out with people, they're like, hey, let's go to the mall. It only costs you however much it is, like 20 pesos for transportation to go there and hang out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Here it's like, I'm not even gonna mention your schedule, because Americans have busier schedules than people in the Philippines, and I don't mean that in a bad way or a good way. I just say it as it is. You know what I mean? They have busier schedules. Students have busier schedules even during quarantine. They have a lot more activities that they want to do, so scheduling them to go somewhere is not an option. Second is the car. It's more expensive to drive your car and to buy gas and get gas or do things and figure out where you want to go. But then in the Philippines, you're like, oh, you have this mall. Mall is one of one of the most popular places that teenagers hang out or kids go and hang out. You know,
Yeah.
parks are walking distance, but the riding the car or driving the car is more expensive, in my opinion, than riding a public utility vehicle with your friends and going to the mall. So hanging out here is different than hanging out in the Philippines, at least here in
Very
Michigan.
much.
Yeah.
Like in PH, and it's similar in my home island. I'm from Samoa, if you don't know. I'm Samoan, not Filipino, but I've been in the Philippines for almost 4.5 years. But I'm saying this, it's very different because you could just, and I'm thinking it's probably because every houses are very close to each other. You think that's what it is?
Yeah.
That the distance between one home from another home, it's just one step over.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that because you don't have to go to the park to hang out. In PH, you can just stand on the side and hang out. Like there's spaces where you can be chilling on the side or at the step of Jollibee, or that's what I have seen in PH. That people you can just chill anywhere out in the street and make that your hangout spot.
And maybe the technology changed a lot too, because when I was a kid, we had fun, and I think older people that here in America can say that life was simpler when we didn't have technology, or better technology, because we always had technology even before, but better technology like phones, iPads, computers, and things like that. Because we've seen this in movies, we've heard this from a lot of older folks. When they were younger, the games that they go play basketball, they do all these things, ride a bike, and that's how it was when we were younger.
Right.
We play outside, we play marbles, we play a lot of things. We play tag. But now I don't know in the Philippines what are the games that kids play. I know they're into their internet phones, and YouTube and TikTok and things like that, their phones, but I don't know what they're doing now. So what I'm saying is,
when was the last time you visit PH?
2012.
Yeah,
I have no idea. That's a long time. The idea with Courtney hanging out and doing things outside, she really wants to do that. She wants to go outside, hang out just in the backyard, or go someone else's house, or stay at home, play board games and
that's actually a typical American concept to do that out here. To go to whatever he's explaining. Yeah, it's it's not like you can just step outside, take a walk, and hang out. Like you can go to the corner of the store and come back. It's not that same vibe. Like in PH, when me and my landlord, one of their kids, when we wanted to go, say, get something from 7-Eleven or from Mini Stop, it's just walking distance, but we enjoy the walk, not necessarily going to Mini Stop. Yeah, just to hang out like that.
Yeah. We did that. We've done that when I stayed in your landlord's place. You're like, hey, you want to go 7-Eleven? You're like 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, all right, let's go. We just go there, grab food. I remember this vividly because we're like, let's grab a snack, and then we'll come back and watch a movie. We did grab a snack, and then we're about to watch the movie, and then I passed out.
He passed out.
I was dead. What was that movie? I even remember the movie.
Remember.
It's Aliens versus Cowboys.
And I guarantee that if you watch that today, you would say, man, what's the point of this movie?
Or it's like Aliens in the Attic or something like that. It's like animated.
Oh, it could be Aliens in it. It could have been that kid movie.
Yeah, it is a kid movie.
Yeah,
because I remember that first scene, and I've never seen I never watched the movie ever again. No. Like I still haven't seen the movie. That's my point. I still haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, Aliens in the Attic.
Because I think I tried to watch the movie again and I fell asleep.
If I knew the way he thinks now, it was the same as then. Yeah, I was like,
so
yeah, that would have bored him.
Before though, it's different story. Before is more like because I wasn't really into movies even before. Because I think it's more like.
Then why did you watch with me?
No. I think it's more like I just fall asleep a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
when he gets in the
college.
comfort, when he's in his like, when he props laying down or sitting down and it's comfortable for him, lights out.
Yeah, my comfort zone, my comfortable position, it's not consistent though. Sometimes I can be standing up, leaning on the wall, and
that's
that could
what
be
I
my
tried to say is that when he gets comfortable in whatever position that he puts himself in.
So it's not hard for me to get comfortable. That's what he's saying, or that's what I'm saying.
Like when we were at the zoo, he just sat under the tree. I can just imagine sitting there that long, hurting his butt. But that's me because I'm heavier than him. He lied out.
I was out.
It was quick.
I was sleeping, and it wasn't even a comfortable tree because there was Christmas lights around it. So the Christmas lights are poking my back, the back of my head. But I was tired. My eyes were heavy, and I was full. So
he got a good 5-7 minutes.
Yeah, and
into that nap.
Heat. What do they say? Heat. Not comforts, but it relaxes your muscles.
Yes, well, heat does, and
heat relaxes your muscles.
The heat then was just hot, making me out of the sun.
It's humid hot though.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's not the same.
Yeah. So that zoo was overrated in my opinion.
I think so.
That was overhyped. That zoo was overhyped for me because they said that this zoo was great, this zoo was amazing, and I went there. It was Toledo Zoo, by the way, in Ohio. I went there. It was like, it was fine. I mean,
it's just we could have gone to the zoo down the street from here, and it would have still felt the same experience.
I think so too, but a little bit better because the Power Park Zoo here in Lansing, this is really small. Okay, it was really small. You've been there.
I'm saying the experience, not the size.
Yeah, but
okay, now he just made that weird. So,
like, how can you not? You said the experience, not the size. Just think about that. How can you not make that weird?
You see, I was thinking just what it meant, but then you had to green it.
I'm gonna clip that and post it on TikTok. Hi TikTok. Okay, so what I'm saying is, it was overhyped. The zoo wasn't even like, yes, we've seen animals that we've never seen before. We saw a piranha. We've never seen a piranha before. I don't think any other zoos that we've been into. Who is that? Courtney?
Yeah.
What'd you say? We're too loud?
I'm thinking that's the case.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. But she's using gifts, so I don't know what they get.
What she said? Oh, she can't sleep. Oh, wait, what? Please stop talking. Shut up. That's funny. So yeah, we saw piranha. We saw those flashlight fish. In that dark room.
Yeah, I was very tempted to grab my flashlight and
to
really see.
They might die though.
That's what I was afraid of. I really was afraid.
I just didn't do it.
Because I'm just seeing lights. I'm thinking those, in some of the movies or cartoons you see where there's that light in front of the fish trying to draw attention of other fishes to eat their food. That's the fish I thought it was. But.
Yeah, that might be the case. I don't know. And then I've seen those kind of jellyfish. Oh, we saw a mole rat. They're creepy looking. Oh,
oh yes,
they're disgusting.
Yeah, it wasn't something to see. It's funny how they have it right next to the elephant room.
Mm-hmm. Right. What else did we see that we've never seen before?
I saw the 2 kinds of fishes.
We saw the rhino. I've seen the rhino. That's not an uncommon animal. We saw.
Let's see.
There's giraffe. There are elephants.
The typical things you see there is a giraffe for sure.
Dingoes.
I was surprised they didn't have
yellow dingoes.
I mean, I saw a cheetah there or a leopard. I mean, can't tell.
We saw baby tigers.
Oh yes, we did. The tiger was there.
Yeah.
A lion wasn't there though.
No, they don't have lions.
That was weird. We didn't experience other places because it didn't really fan out for the girls, like the reptile area or the bird area.
Reptile and snakes.
Oh, we went to the bird area, but there was another. Oh, the snake area. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we saw a fully grown, not a chimpanzee. What do you call that? It's not
ape.
An ape. Is it an ape?
It is a chimpanzee. Wait, no. Yeah, it was an ape.
Because we saw the gorilla.
It starts with a T.
Tentacles.
Stop.
Hey, you're making it weird. I just said tentacles. Orangutan.
There you go.
Orangutan. We saw the fully grown orangutan with a floppy, big, wide face.
What was funny crazy. Though, they know how to use a blanket. I saw them grab a blanket.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. That was amazing. Other than that, there's nothing really exciting. I mean, yeah, it's a big zoo, but it was overhyped. The whole place was overhyped. It was overrated. That's just my fair opinion for someone who been to a lot of zoos.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Detroit Zoo more than I enjoyed Toledo Zoo. But then again, that's Detroit Zoo was my first zoo here in America, so that's probably why. Yeah, but I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Detroit Zoo over Toledo
I've been
Zoo.
to a lot of zoos with this family. I've never been to any zoos in California except for my experience since kindergarten.
Yeah, but we went to a good one in
I forgot where. It was pretty far out, but it's where all these Legos were.
yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool.
no, that's a different one. I'm talking about the first zoo that you've been into. You've been.
Yeah, that one
you've gone.
was the common one that you guys normally go to.
No. The one that that may be common because we've only been there. I've only been there twice.
I remember going there twice. It was with
You probably think
one
about
time. No, one time with you guys, and then the second time was with the Gwens.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
When we were gone, you went with them?
No. There was a time where Missy came with us. No, wait, was it Missy?
I don't know.
I know for sure I went with you guys.
Oh, that's the one with Missy. Is the one with the Lego zoo.
Oh, maybe I'm mixing that one.
Yeah, I'm talking about the. Remember when I shot the video with the puns?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I remember that. I enjoyed that one.
I remember
that was
when
corny.
I remember when the lost mile.
Um,
So for someone who's been to more than 10 different kinds of zoos, I think Toledo Zoo is overhyped. Yeah, that's just my thought. You can judge me whatever you want, but that's just my thought. I want to go to San Diego Zoo though.
I lived in California and not once have I been to San Diego Zoo.
September
Same
we're
thing as
going
being
to
Disney.
September we're going to Great Wolf Lodge. You excited about that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent about it.
Really? I'm gonna overhype it. It's really good. The place is really nice.
No, I've seen it. I mean, like I've been, there's one in California,
Have you
and
been in it? That's
they
the
have
question.
an open window.
Yeah.
and they have all these
That
things.
doesn't mean you've been
It's
in it.
so cool.
That doesn't mean you've been in it.
I know, I
Let me
haven't
let me
been
put
in
it in a weird way. You've seen a beautiful girl, but you've never been in it. You never know if it's good or bad.
Man.
Yeah, you see it like a glass door, but you never know if it's good or not. And I'm telling you, it's good in there.
It's transparent, but you can never just feel.
Hey, it's wet. I had to hide my face with that.
Man.
That's another TikTok video right there. It's nice. It's nice in Grateful Lodge.
No, I believe you.
Yeah.
No, I believe it.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. I guess I am. I am excited. It's just, again, this is all part of the whole family event they normally do together, and going out. It's still new to me to process it, I guess.
So you're gonna be 32 next month. Next month. Anything different? Have you ever experienced midlife crisis?
Midlife?
Mm-hmm.
Describe midlife crisis.
I don't know, like something.
What's considered a midlife crisis?
So I've experienced this before. I think it started when I was 25, 26, until this year when I turned 30. That I always look at myself at what have I accomplished. So we watch a lot of videos, right?
Yes.
We watch a lot of videos. We saw all these successful people like Logan Paul or the Nelk Boys. These people are young. They're like 26, 27, 22. The Nelk Boys were 22. Jake Paul is 24. And these guys are millionaires, successful, happy YouTuber people. We look at them, it's like, man, but I'm 30.
What am I doing?
What am I doing? That's the kind of midlife crisis that I'm experiencing.
I guess with that concept, I can't tell if it's midlife. When I think about midlife, I think about when I hit 50. That's midlife to me. Because the average, lifespan of most humans, what, 70, 80?
Okay, so
I think it's 40, 50.
I'm not trying to make you feel like experience this midlife crisis, but think about it.
No, I'm not. No,
No, but think about it though. Okay.
No, I'm going to answer it. I guess you consider it a midlife crisis, but I had a moment in life where I felt like I messed up. I was like, what the f am I doing?
You almost left. You almost left.
Yeah, what the heck am I doing?
That was funny.
Because I hit a certain age where I thought everything would be right, and my goal was to make my mom happy. That was my goal. That was it. If I can make my mom happy with living life, and I will take on the responsibilities, and she can be free in doing what she wanted to do. That I felt that was my success.
Was that you?
Yeah, I actually hit the mic. That would be my success. That I got it done, and I guess I did crash at one point, and then I think that's where my passion died. Like I'm done, because no matter what I'm trying to do, it's just not mounting to it.
When did this happen?
Probably 5-6 years ago.
Man, that was early then.
5, 6, 7 years ago.
Shoot, that was early to give up your passion. I mean, I get it. I totally do.
Yeah, because I didn't really know what I was doing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I got caught up with life. Like I said, so my goal was after Bible school, after going to college in the Philippines, was to come back and go to school again, and either to be a firefighter or to be a music teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And none of that happened because the need of money at that time was needed.
Yeah.
And so I just found a job and worked and got caught up in the whole rut of life of working and grinding.
The rat race.
I guess.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know what to do after that. It's just that I needed to get money, and if there's more money here, then I'll do it there and make it work. Mm-hmm. And I'm at my stage where I'm just working hard.
Yeah.
That's it.
With me though, my that's two things that I always say a lot. But my old classmate in high school, when she found out that I'm a youth pastor now, was happy, but I don't think she was surprised. But I know she was happy, that sort of proud of me that I became who I became. And I think what happened was, I was almost in that rut of I want to do what I want to do, but I can't do it, so I have to stay in this 9-to-5 kind of job to survive, until I started listening to Gary Vaynerchuk. And then that's when I realized that, man, 30-year-old, 32-year-old are still young. Like, think about it. We can still double or 1.5 of our life, and we're still going to survive.
Just so you know, that I mean to cut you off. My concept of being young, 30 is young, I agree, has been broken since I went to PH. Because all of you guys, by the time you hit 20, 21, y'all still, in school and academically doing things. Well, the ones that I know and see. But out here, someone has to look for a boyfriend or a girlfriend or some kind of relationship. And like by the time they hit 22 or 23, they feel like they, all from an American point of view, I feel like they lose it all. I gotta hold the mic like this. This is so annoying having it down there. Maybe the chair is too high.
Yeah, and you have a horrible stand.
But I don't know if that makes sense. It's
No, I hear you.
Because when I
get it.
when I was there in PH, and I was 19, 20, and my mind was like, man, I'm still single. I don't have a girlfriend or have any girlfriends to share. Before I met Tay. But when I looked around, everyone is like 25, 27, 30. Like Ray, our brother. Mm-hmm. He's like 30 plus at the time, man. He was still single and living like a bachelor until he got married.
Yeah.
And it broke my conscience. Like, wow.
It is different, because the actually getting married at 18 or 21 is really young for him.
Yeah. Out here, that's where they want to be.
Yeah. So when I heard and met not met him personally, but when I heard his podcast and I learned from him, I realized that being 30 years old is still young. You're popping that microphone, by the way.
I know. I'm sorry.
You're still young, so there's still a lot of accomplishments that you can do. There's a lot of things that you still can do as a 30-year-old. 30, 35, 40, even 40. Because if you think about it, if you double 40, that would be 80. And our life started, let's say you have 18 years. The first 18 years of your life, you're expected not to do anything. Now think about it. So your life only started from 19 to 30.
Right.
You only been in this rat race for what? 21 years?
Yeah.
No, that can't be right.
No.
11 years. 11 years. So 11 years is
and
not.
You think my math was bad?
You know what I mean? 11 years is not that long. So
no, it isn't.
You just so happen to hit 30, and then second, it started with the it all begins with your mindset. So all the jobs that I've done, all the things that I've done in the Philippines and
mindset.
What?
No, I agree with you. Mindset. My bad.
Yeah, your mindset. When I was in the Philippines and here in America, all the jobs that I've been doing, I know that's just the preparations for what I needed to do or what I wanted to do. So I wanted to be a youth pastor. So all the jobs that I've done, either factory, sales, call center, I know all that is just a preparation for me to do what I want to do. All that, dealing with customers, doing sales. I know all that is just going to be my experience leading up to what I want to do. And that's the mindset that I have, that I know this is not going to be my career. This is not something that I want to do with my life. So if you have that mindset, instead of just thinking I have to do this 9-to-5 job, I have to do this specific job, and not having a goal after that, yes, you're gonna get stuck in that rut. So I didn't have that mindset in my head. I know, yes, I just have to do this job, so I can prepare myself for what I want to do someday.
Touching based on what he said, mindset is key. And the reason why I say that, before I been surrounded with people who had, the right mindset, been around the right people and listening to the right people, my concept was with the status quo that, you won't mount to anything, or I'm like everyone else, that kind of thing. Until you meet the right group, hear the right group, read the right group, being surrounded by the right things, it will break your concept to think that, hey, you still got time. You still can do it. It's a matter of you doing it or not doing it. It's a matter of perspective, big time. A matter of perspective.
So my goal, one of my goals in this point of my life, and I'm talking about when I say point of my life, is him staying with me and living with us, is to refine his passion, refine what he wants to do. Because I told him that the job that he's in right now, he's way overqualified. He put so much effort and so much passion in the job that he's not meant to be in for the rest of his life. And I believe that. I believe that 100%. And I told him, if you have this kind of work ethic on something that you love to do, you can be successful for it. You know what I mean? The problem is, this is not it. I believe this is not it. It can't be it. He has so much passion. You have so much talent for a job like that. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
But I can't force something that you can't find.
Yeah. Just to elaborate what he's saying is that the passion referring to is like, I don't know what I want to do, basically. Right now, at the moment, I'm using what I got and making use of it to do what I can with it. And yeah, I'm still looking down there. I think I'm still looking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's helping me with, at least to start with, small challenges here and there, and I'm trying it. You will see that hopefully in the next remaining parts of this month, and I need to try harder.
speaking of passion and this the TMFS, I stepped up the TMFS podcast. So I think I know there's a market for everything, but you want to make your market more unique and more interesting to catch attention from other people, right?
Yeah.
If there are 100, let's say a million version of us, we can't, and we want to take that path, we have to be more unique than that 1 million versions of us. You know what I mean? So people can, so we can get people's attention. I want to step up the conversations, the podcast. I think we've done the podcast a year and a half now, doing After Flicks, doing Learn Filipino Pod, doing Tambayan and things like that. So I want to step it up and put more work into it, put more effort in doing this, because I think I still think that this podcast will work out.
I believe it.
So I've been DMing people that totally out of our league. Oh my gosh, the subscribers that we have in YouTube, they're totally out of our league. Like, there's no way. I totally understand if these people don't respond. Like, that kind of out of our league. Like, I'm DMing people that have blue check mark in their names. You know what I mean?
Right.
And having Kuya Arya Kawangi's people guesting in our podcast really helped us a lot, and
it was a fun experience.
I know it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's our pleasure to have you guys in our podcast, and it's definitely an honor. So I have been DMing people and trying to reach out to people and telling them, hey, you guys want to be part of our podcast? I want to be, I want you guys to be our guests. And the first step of that is getting out of that shell of, if you want to be a social media creator, you can't be just shy. You can't be shy people. You can't be like, hey, I'm kind of scared and shy to DM people because I don't want to get rejected. No, I want to remove that mentality in us, because if we're a social media creator and we're not doing these kind of things, then it's going to be way harder for us to reach what we want to do. So I've been DMing people and trying to reach out to them. Gary Vaynerchuk said, if you reach out to 10 people and nobody responded, then keep doing it.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it.
There'll be eventually someone will be out there.
Yeah. You can't just give up after you DM 10 people and no response. I've been trying to do that. And with that said, I haven't been vocal in public about this. I think I'm only been talking to Wakka about this with the TMFS. I don't know where is the path for me. As for me personally, I don't know where the path of where I want to take myself, and walking out a package in this. I don't know where should I take myself or put myself in TMFS, because the thing is, and Wakka and I talked about this. We are putting all this effort in this group that is not named after me. You know what I mean? It's named after an organization that is meant to be for a lot of people.
Right.
That's only run by one person, but this one person is not named for this organization. You know what I mean?
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is, this organization is not CB or Captain Bug podcast. It's a TMFS podcast.
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like it's, I don't know if that sounds selfish, but I feel like it's not. I don't know. I feel cheated in a way. That, because let's say this podcast went somewhere, we became successful. We reach, let's say, 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Yes, my name will be known. I'll be the face of the group, but it's not my group.
Yeah, you're just a part of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is focused on. Yeah, I get you. This is TMFS. The face of this is TMFS.
Yeah.
Is the Maximum Filipino show, where it's all about the Philippines. We're simply just the host, or the one that's running it, but we aren't the runners. We aren't the one that's ringing the reins. Is that you?
No, that was you. That was definitely you. Your mic was moving.
Oh, it's the mic. Okay.
You remember the mic is attached to the table?
Yeah, it's just that I was like, I heard a ring or like whatever that I don't recognize, but then it makes sense now.
But yeah, I feel like I shouldn't have this drama when it comes to or this feeling in this podcast. We're not, because this is like a
you're just passionate in what you're doing.
No, but what I'm saying is this is like a big channel problem, but we're not a big channel.
I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like, these are the kind of problems that big channels are experiencing. They're like, oh, I'm this so and so, but I'm putting all my effort in this to make this channel grow, but this is not my own thing, so I want to do my own thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like Harry Styles in One Direction. Like, I run this place, but it's not Harry Styles' group. It's One Direction. You know, and like I said, I shouldn't have this issue. The thing is, and so I thought about this. The thing that hinders me from doing my own thing is, first, I put so much effort in this, you know, in this podcast,
right,
in this group, that I'm not saying, okay, by any means, I'm not saying that I'd take this whole group and make it my own. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I put too much effort and thinking about this podcast that I know every single programs that I want to do. I have a vision and a goal for this podcast that if I do my own thing, I wouldn't know what to do. You know what I mean? Because I can't do the same thing. I can't be like Captain Bug podcast with same content. You know what I mean? That focuses on Learn Filipino Pod or After Flicks or Tambayan or anything like that. It can't be the same thing. It has to be a different thing. It can be like Logan Paul or Impulsive or Joe Rogan, that they will just invite people and talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or just have this kind of conversation. With their podcast. What I'm saying is, I can't just leave
and start
the podcast
new.
And start something new without even thinking what should I do.
Yeah.
You know, I already put so much effort and thought about this podcast that I already know what I'm gonna do with this podcast. Like,
yeah,
we know the vision of when we say After Flicks, we know what kind of content we're gonna put in there. When we say Learn Filipino Pod, we know what kind of content we're gonna put in there. You know. But no, that's just my public rant about the group. Because I don't know, you guys probably noticed, even though it says the Maximum Filipino Show, the majority or in all episodes you see this face.
Yeah, along with this face.
And lately it's with this face, that face.
Yeah.
But from the first episode till this episode, it's always been my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not like shamming or trashing TMFS at all. That's not how it sounds like at all. It's just like you said, we're just ranting and we love what we're doing. I think I love what we're doing.
I think so. I mean, we put money and effort and time.
I enjoy this. Yeah. I really do. I mean,
I do too.
See, one of the things he reached out to me about the podcast, and I was at first initially just a guest, and I had fun doing it. I said I was on it, and I rightfully joined because I was there in the Philippines for 4.5 years. I think that count for me as a outside local. Does that count for an outside local?
Yeah, outside local.
I guess an outsider local kind of guy. But yeah, I enjoy it, and I'm having fun, and really hope and pray things will turn out for the best for TMFS.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have a lot of this kind of conversations, just talking, because I think
this doesn't count as Tambayan, does it?
It is the Tambayan.
I guess
it's a hangout. We're hanging out. We're talking.
Which I thought it was pretty interesting. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, if there's anything that that happened and we can talk about it, and we'll have another podcast like this.
Yeah.
I think so. I think the reason why a lot of, let's say with Logan Paul, right? I listen to a lot of Logan Paul's podcast. The reason why a lot of he has so much things to talk about in his episodes, especially if there's no guest. It's just him, Mike, or George. You know what I mean, or somebody else that lives with him. The reason why they have a lot of things to talk about because their life is eventful. They go to parties, they interact with people. But for us, it's like we do the same thing, and we don't really have that eventful kind of life. And this is why I think this is why vlogging works well for him.
That could be right too. Which again, it's not wrong. Yeah, I think it's right. I just think that it's easier for them because they can click with them for all the experience that they got. Yes, you're right. It's eventful, and all the experiences that they had, they can somehow share with what they're saying. Like, it may not be the exact event or the exact experience, but they kind of click because they understand what they're talking about, what they're saying, which they can elaborate what they're. I guess you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, compared to what we do, it's like it's hard to do. I don't want to say it's hard. I think it's a lot easier to do vlogging if you're a youth pastor than do a vlogging with your job.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's just up to me on how I make my week more eventful.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. Up
to us. Yeah.
So with podcasts and the people that we talk to, or when we talk about a lot of things, we have to make our life more eventful because we can't be like, oh yeah, I woke up Monday, did this and did that, and then same thing Tuesday, same thing Thursday. Yeah, I skipped Wednesday. Same thing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then here we go. We're doing this podcast, and it's the same thing over and over again. It can't be like that. You know what I mean? You gotta have something interesting going on with your life, and this is why After Flicks work out because every shows and movies are almost different.
Right. Yeah. You know? That's true.
Yeah, and this is why a lot of YouTubers that do reactions work out. Not necessarily do vlogging; they just do reaction videos.
To some things.
Just watch.
Which we
react.
I think we should do because we do.
I know we should do, but I still don't. I don't know. I need to figure out. Maybe you can help me with this. I need to figure out how to work around the copyright.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen someone who they have done it. Yeah, we can talk about it offline.
Yeah. Or you can, we can look it up and.
It's possible, that's for sure.
Oh, it's possible because a lot of people that we know, KSI started, PewDiePie started as reaction videos. They all do reaction videos. You know what I mean? That's all they do.
Did you get muted the last time you used that one clip?
From Jollibee?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did Jollibee and Nas Daily. No, I didn't get... Nope.
How about the one where you said that you were it was when I was still in California and you showed an example of
no, so you can't with that one you can't hear the video because remember we did that with the scary movie, one of the scary movies.
Oh no, okay, I remember what it was.
The live viewing.
No, you showed a video trying to show a video of what we were trying to talk about. I think it was from the Power movie, and I don't know if you got
the Project Power.
Yeah,
I did the
rap
clip.
Yeah, the clip of the rap.
No, it was The Boys.
No, it was the clip of the girl that rapped. That it was a dream.
Yeah.
Did you get?
It was Project Power. I did that for Project Power and The Boys.
And The Boys. Okay.
The one with the officer who her face blew up.
I think I wasn't there for the first episode. Remember, you did the first season with.
But that was the same one. When Frenchie and Mother's Milk.
No, I'm thinking about Pilot. I'm thinking about Pilot.
Oh no! When Mother's Milk and Frenchie were talking to the cop, the lady cop, and then all of a sudden her face just blew up, her head blew up.
It's funny. I just realized Mother's Milk is the actual character's name when they call it MM for short.
I know, Mother's Milk. I can't wait for the third season. That will be very interesting.
I'm kind of intrigued of what's going to happen next because they did show some some concept. I was kind of iffy because when I read the comic of that concept, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this one.
It's gonna be really interesting for sure because I like The Boys. It's raunchy, but it's good. It's good. So I'm gonna admit, I try to get into Game of Thrones. I watched the first episode of Game of Thrones. I fell asleep. I was like, I can't do this. I can't watch it. I can't. And
he's not a fantasy guy.
You probably can call me dumb because Game of Thrones probably for intellectuals. Then yes, I'm not intellectual if that's the case because I couldn't do it. I did Black Mirror though, and I enjoyed that one episode.
And he did the episode that was not the right start.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was the first episode of the first season, but it wasn't. But it was really good. It was really good.
The Black Mirror. I heard a lot of good things about Black Mirror.
Yeah, it was good. With that said, that's it. I think that's it for this pod.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
An hour and 30 minutes.
Good.
There's a market for these things, and Gary Vaynerchuk talked about the reason why vlogging works out really well, because people are curious. They're so curious, and it's like a form of gossiping, like hearing they want to know your business.
They want to know.
That's why vlogging works out. So things like this that we talked about, real life and what happened in our life, it might not work out for a lot of people. You might not care about our lives, but some people, they just want to know other people's lives without
they
even
got
knowing
time
who
to
they
know
are.
other people's businesses.
Yeah, without even knowing who they are, whether they're popular or not. And this is why I think this is why even though we do not want to see not strangled, but a mold, not mold, but MAULED. Mold?
What?
MAULED.
Mold.
Yeah, mold body or an accident, right? A car accident, and there's a body there. Even though we don't want to see it, but we still slow down and try to see what's going on.
Yeah, everyone is very, very nosy.
Nosy. We're nosy. We're nosy generation. And this is why
everybody wants to know.
And this is why I think this kind of podcast works out, because it's like they don't even know us, but they get a glimpse of our lives
by the things that we say.
Yeah. With that said, we want to say thank you for joining us. If you reach this portion of the podcast and you still haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Please subscribe.
Right?
Smash that subscribe button, like this podcast, comment, and let us know if there's anything that you want us to do or you enjoy in this episode.
Yeah.
If you want to be part of our podcast, just let us know. Email us, themaximumfilipinoshow@gmail.com. You guys can find us both.
Yes.
In our own specific Facebook.
our own social media
pages. You have Wakka127.
Yeah, either Wakka127 or FFX Wakka127.
Yep, or the Gum Fam Show, and you guys can look us up. Email us. Let us know if you enjoyed this podcast. Let us know if you don't enjoy this podcast. That's completely fine too. And
we thank you for saying or have an opinion of not liking it. You still listened anyway,
right? And subscribe and go follow us. We have TikTok. We have all that social media platform.
Yep.
We want to say thank you and have a good day. We'll see you guys again in the next podcast.
Bye.
Correct.